So they need to secure this TA somehow.
So I think so most likely they'll probably try to match up this TA with the puck, and they'll probably make sure the Brewmaster is lined up against the Omni Knight if they can, and then just however they move the other supports around to protect mid or to protect Terrorblade wherever it's needed. That's going to be VG's game plan for this.
I really think VG's draft is very good because they need to address both the TA and the TB, and they can't be at both lanes, right? So I give a little bit of a draft edge to this time, I think.
I'm gonna have to agree with that assessment. I think they scale a little bit better, but you know, it's like, can the draft get away with more scaling?
They're very greedy.
Yeah,
very greedy for sure. But if they can get away with it, the mid late game will be amazing. If they can't, then they will probably get run over fairly early.
There isn't really like a super pushing type of component. I feel the Secrets lineup. I don't feel like they could really try to deathball early to punish that unless Omni gets a great start. So I'm with VG for game 1.
Okay, all right. I think we have a view here from the expert panel. They firmly believe that the top team so far here at the Perfect World Masters will continue in that vein as they head into the semi-final of the bracket. It's game on as far as Team Secret and VG Gaming are concerned, which means handing you over to our commentary team for our final series of the night. Toby, Juan, and Melini, it's all yours.
Feeling that hype coming from the panel as well as the the crowd! Yes, that's right. We have ourselves a bit of a smoke gank right here. Wait for him to come in later this weekend, however. But VG Gaming, fantastic draft, well-rounded. Melini, you seem to be a big fan of it as well at the very end.
Oh, I like the draft a lot more. For a lot of reasons. I think the Brewmaster versus the Omni Knight is something that other teams have explored in this tournament and has worked out surprisingly well. Yeah, you just Cyclone him, and then what is he going to do? If you repel yourself, he just Cyclones someone else. And you can dispel the GA, which is awesome. And then they have the good lane matchups. Omni Knight might be able to win his lane, but you have the Puck versus the TA, which is definitely TA favored. And you also have all these heavy physical damage dealers versus a Tiny. Like, Tiny it has some armor with Grow, but he's still going to get destroyed. I guess at least you don't get any value from natural order. Negative value.
There's an upside. But as you said, like the Grow, like the armor change was in Grow recently, so the movement speed's gone, but you get the 5, 10, 15 armor buff up that comes with that. So maybe that does make him a little bit more sustainable. I was also interested to see how Team Secret would do the laning phase. Jack was mentioning it. Maybe you want to get that Omni Knight up against the Brewmaster. Right now, Team Secret actually have Fada sitting up on the top lane with CTY being aggressive to try and steal out bounty runes. Everyone's going to end up trading out to a 2-2 rune situation anyway. So, but this is going to make for a fun laning phase to say the least. Yaps is already starting his rotation. Puppy's heading down south. So it looks like Team Secret are going to go with standard lanes. And VG are doing exactly the same thing. So nothing out of the ordinary with the very start. And do we actually expect a very passive style of game? Like, you can look for Puppy and Yapsaw to do his rotation. Do you get the same amount out of, like, Lanham, or is Lanham just, like, the same here? Trade with Puppy, do this dual lane mid that we're used to.
You have to look at the core matchups for that. And in the mid lane, we have Puck versus TA, which is the big discrepancy, right? TA scales a lot better. Puck generally just, you know, he can snowball a lot more, whereas TA benefits way more from a passive style where you just farm up Ancients and do Roche if the other team is doing something silly. So I would say that VG definitely have the late game. I would say Terrorblade is also just like really hard to deal with in the late game, especially with their lineup that does not have significant amounts of AoE. Tree grab does not count.
We all want to count Puppy. He's actually dropping really low here in mid. So much damage on Lanham with a plus 54. It will be enough.
I actually
will be able to get a revenge, but
I did not think he was actually going to die from that hit. I was actually very surprised. I was like, okay, it's going to take him like 1 and like a 10th more hit. It looked like he had like 110% HP of one right click, but maybe he rolled a little bit high. Maybe he just got a ton of damage from creeps.
He had plus 52. He literally had double damage. And now Lanham comes back into it again.
Back at it. Oh man.
Toss the phone book at it. And this is a hero who, like, I was wondering too, like when he got picked up, if it'll all be about like the offlane of VG, like just give that absolute power to ensure that Ace can't get himself a good start. But instead he's focusing pretty heavily on just making CTY's life very problematic, but it's really not that bad, is it? Though? Like CTY is still 8 for 3 against the 10 for 1. CTY got a kill in return.
It's not to make his life problematic, it's to make the TA's life easy. Because TA versus Ogre is really bad. Like, you can take off all the reflection charges.
They're going to get a revenge. Yapsor in through the side, pick him up, toss it back over again, and then it's just all about a good club, and Puppey gets his revenge.
So Alanum's doing something that's, you know, generally what you do in this sort of situation. You draw the attention away from the TA, and you put a lot of focus on yourself so that TA can get to level 5, level 6. Once you're level 5, level 6, you're perfectly fine. You can do Ancient super easily, you have traps to help you out, and Elder Titan can catch up easily. He's a support, who cares if he dies early, as long as your TA gets a relatively easy time. And the CS is actually very close in the mid lane for them.
CS is actually close all around. Like, there's only Puck who's just slightly ahead of everybody else, but it is very even. This bottom lane, it really is the brawlers. Ace has tends to charge up his sleeve as well as the Avalanche, so he'll return a bit more damage, has a tree up, needs more life. There's the 6 charges kicking in, doesn't have the Avalanche back again, going into the tower, Young 11 Mango so he can climb into the trees. The damage from the tower will be quite high, but not high enough.
Dude, they are just going at it. Like, they do not care about dying towers. They are, this is the VG I like to see.
Aggressive, in control. I suppose, too, when VG Gaming look at Team Secret, top lane, bit of a pickup. Fenrir, difficult to kill. You do have 2 points up in Purify, so Far's trying to cut his way through a little bit faster. They're not going to get it.
Bane is way too tanky.
Yeah. But when you think about the weakness of Team Secret, everyone knows, obviously, you're missing out mid 1. You've got CTY as that stand-in. And you... Okay, Fada. Oh, actually, he's in trouble. Space created by Yapsor. Has to put the sleep onto himself. Fada goes for the tree line. Still has that purification. Taking the time to salve up to. Making it sure this metamorphosis of Paparazzi is as wasted as much as they can. Yapsor has his clarity cancelled. Fadebolt, he knows he's dead, but in comes Puppey. If they can get a revenge on a Paparazzi, they'll make it worthwhile. But the Stomp from Lanham. Everyone goes to sleep for the moment as Paparazzi runs down south, trying to escape from this gank, but he's salving up into the trees. They need to cancel this. More loose to choose from. Puppey so low. Purification's on the Fada, so he can set his ground, do the damage into Paparazzi, but it doesn't work when Fenrir claims a double kill as that Bane picking up the supports of Team Secret's offlane.
That was some great teamwork coming out from Vici, and Paparazzi, sick illusion micro. There's only so many limited things that you can do as a Terrorblade early on in the game, and illusion micro is definitely one of the top things. That's what I like to see from the position ones. Scout out that vision, and that burned Rubik's clarity too. Like, he, you know, Yapsor has kind of been hailed as a position 4, but he does demand a lot of farm. Even a lot of small things like that are going to ruin his game. Or have the potential to ruin his game, rather.
Oh, that last point I was getting to before 2 team fights happened to interrupt me. It's just the fact that VG Gaming, if they push up the tempo, it breaks the weakness and the synergy of Team Secret's lineup with the stand-in. Done!
Maybe so. Maybe so.
Weakens.
CTY, Puck is actually one that you do need a lot of teamwork, so I can see it this game. Some of the heroes, it's like, you know, but it's a mid player.
Yeah, you can see Puppey's draft trying to get around that as often as he possibly goes. Like, what do I pick? Medusa and Razor, 2 heroes very difficult to kill. Morphling, very difficult to kill heroes.
I think it's less so the stand-in factor and more the chaotic factor that CTY brings, because he is a very, very difficult player to read. Movements, item builds, just the way he plays is unlike a lot of other players, I would say.
Well, Team Secret have to read him as much as they possibly can. But for now, the draft, the farming game, 6 minutes in, pretty well balanced. Only 1k the difference. It's just more battles for Yapsor's trying to steal the bounty rune. Fada's nearby, so he can help out here. Just looking for the brain sap. Level 2 on it. More support rotating over. Again, Lanham with the Spirit Stomp. It only catches Fada. The Spirit gives a little bit of extra vision for that, but Ori doesn't have the high movement speed as he's still short of his phase boots. So he cannot get up the hill in time. Bottom lane, Brewmaster Split is going out. Ace trying to survive into the trees. Tick charges once again going to go off. The Brewmaster Split, got another 6 seconds left on it. 6 seconds will be more than enough, and maybe it won't be. Avalanche is up. Yapsor suddenly blocking Ace, and that'll allow the Rockstar to fly forward. He doesn't have another control here, Yapsor. Finally, Puppey will hit the deck.
Dude, he's balling out of control. 11. Brewmaster, I remember seeing him on the safe lane, he performed pretty well, but this is far better early game than he has had. Yeah, his CS isn't great, but he's killed the Tiny twice without dying, and that is very, very impressive.
He's almost got the same net worth as the TA. Top 3 net worths belong to VG Gaming at the moment.
And he's also forcing the supports to move. They had a TP down to the bottom lane, and now top lane is just not particularly great for Fada. He knows that he's going to be alone for quite some time.
I'm wondering if that's the reason too why he was just pressuring the top tower, at least put into the mind of Paparazzi that he can be aggressive, that he is a strong hero.
He brought 10 tangos to lane, so I'm sure he's fine.
Middle lane rotations coming in as Puppey and Lanham get to say hello to each other. Not much should come from this as they're still fighting underneath the tower. It's just the fact that CTY is just so low on life. Fada will end up dying to the top lane, so all that posturing doesn't do a lot. And well, I didn't say much will come from this mid lane, but Puppey is so low and CTY has no real answer to that kind of aggression.
The momentum has just been crazy. Look at this. They have an ancient stack too. Look at where... Oh, that's ridiculous. It seems like they've been everywhere on the map, and they've been ancient stacking in the meantime. That's crazy.
Yeah, it's not even just 1, 2. I think that's actually a quad ancient stack in there.
So in the past like 2 minutes, they had this massive stack. They took out 2 observer wards. They dewarded everywhere. They killed the Tiny. They're about to kill the Omni, maybe twice. It looks like he's going to die twice here.
Yep. Couple of extra attacks from Paparazzi. One more will do it. His Metamorphosis just wore off, however. Is he going to go under the tower? No, he won't. He'll turn around. Yapsor's arrived, and it would have punished Paparazzi pretty heavily if he did dive it.
This is one of the games where, as a support for Secret, you just feel like a firefighter. Like your whole entire side of the map, and all your heroes are just dying, and everyone's screaming for help, and you just need to try and do what you can. But sadly, they just seem like they're a little bit too late.
Love that word. Okay, how to actually fight Young 11? Throw him away. Don't deal with it. But Team Secret are looking to find a 3-man smoke up. They're going to look for the opportunity, and what a good time to do it. Yapsor,
it's too late.
He doesn't have the Observer Ward. They need to see up the hill. Maybe they can at least get the pickup on the TA. If they Observer Ward the hillside, it will work. Lanham soaks up the smoke gank. And Ori, well, he's got 2 big black dragons left to farm. That is all.
They
got no one that could farm it there.
Secret. I think they only got experience from like 2 or 3 of the Ancients too. I think if they get experience, it's still like decent. I mean, 2 dragons, it's all right, but I mean, you're still in a...
2 dragons and a kill. Okay, they got 1 dragon so far. Lanham is coming back in again with his spirit, just trying to cause Sparta problems.
They did get that sentry ward down.
Over on Ori. Hides, now he pops back out, actually hitting with the Mel Strike into CTY. He doesn't care if they're the initiators, he wants to go for more. 1 hit into Yapsor and he loses 1/3 of his life. That wasn't even a refraction buffed up hit.
Those traps do surprising amounts of damage too.
Especially since they got buffed.
Yeah, 250. I don't think I've seen people take the talent, but 200 psionic trap talent might be worth considering this game.
The Fiend's Grip over on Ace. He'll break free, still has a lot of one-shots up his sleeve, strength tread morph up, but what does he really do? He tosses, he's just trying to go for the kill onto Bane, realizing he's dead, but the Nightmare! What a situation! Ace will take it off him, tosses the tree, as we'll have a quick pause out by Puppey, but this is escalating quickly.
Yeah,
in favor of VG.
This has been a very hectic 10 minutes. I don't really think that they were expecting VG to push the pace like this. You know, normally you're like, okay, Terrorblade and TA. Terrorblade relies on Metamorphosis. You had a good 2.5 minutes in between tower sieges. TA, you expect some ancient stacking. Brewmaster, you know, he's going to get level 6 at some point, maybe 10 minutes into the game, but he has just been on fire. Brewmaster is, are you kidding me, level 9?
Yeah. He's almost level 10 and he's 8 gold away from his blink.
So things are looking bleak for VG, but Secret, keep in mind, they still do have the Omni Knight. Omni Knight is one of the best team fighters in the game right now, and because of their heavy reliance on physical damage, almost entirely from 2 of their cores, they're not going to be able to do anything during GA if Omni Knight can actually get his spells out. However, the one thing that is concerning is he's going for Hand of Midas. So he wants to play the farm game versus a team that
he's going
is happy to play the farm game.
Brew just finished his Hand of Midas, and there's an extra Tome of Knowledge flying out in the courier. This one's going to go to Lanham, of course, but like his primary counter is the Brewmaster when we're talking about like Fada here. Like the Brewmaster is going to get so much experience, so much level progression. Team Secret need to do something to quell this, and there's more than just an ET kill. They need to get something larger, and they're looking for Paparazzi up on the top lane. Ace is coming under the cover of smoke. They're rotating over, and it looks like they're searching for the stacks. There are no stacks. Ever since they dropped that Sentry Ward and contested the Ancient before, the only stacks they were preparing were further to the south, which Ori just farmed. No, and now has 5.5k gold.
They weren't looking for the stacks. They were looking for the TA.
They didn't find her.
Yeah, the TA was actually farming off to the right, so props to Ori to farming in a very safe place.
And Paparazzi left and pushed bottom lane.
The reason they don't expect the stacks is just because of how active the supports have been. The support have been showing the majority of the time, so you know they can't be everywhere, and they've been on the map, so they can't have been stacking at the same time.
Trouble. Stomp's coming in. The TA trap slowed him down just enough. They can actually get that sleep off. Yapsol wants to help out, and all he can do is pick up the Elder Titan, but it's all a little bit too late. He'll end up stealing the Astral Spirit. The Puppy will fall. A T1 for a T1 tower trade-off on both the top and bot lane.
So Tiny is going to space creating with the Shadow Blade, which is somewhat interesting because he's their main late gamer, which means that if their mid game is poor and Tiny doesn't have any farming items, they will get obliterated. It probably won't even get the late game if their mid game goes poorly. So let's see who can he solo kill with this. Probably, I don't even know.
The Bane doesn't...
I don't think he can kill them. It's going to be close.
If you catch the TA without refraction up, maybe. Lanham having a little bit of trouble, so this will work. When you've got Fada there to help out, now he has enough damage to get through the ET. Meanwhile, Puck, Dream Call on bottom, wants to jump away. Puppy, Fiend script up. Paparazzi will take care of him. Yeah, Saul was moving over, hoping for a steal of his own. But doesn't find anything. But you'll take anything you can get right now. A 1-for-1 trade-off. Just that 1-for-1 trade-off, it's... actually, the teamfight recap doesn't even tell me how much I need to know. But it should be a little bit more in favor of Secret considering how far behind they are.
Well, Ace got a 270 from killing Lanham. Paparazzi got 185.
Double damage rune on Young 11. He needs space. He needs to leave. He got Drunken Brawler. That might... No. It won't help him.
Only refraction would have saved him right there. But I think Ori melded very early on.
They're keeping the Suns going. Young 11 knows he can just split this out. Now Fenrir in through the rear. Nightmare causing targets to switch from one to the other. Brewmaster still holding on. He's got his one charges. Triggers them now. Fortifications done for the Radiant side. Still thinking of fighting. There is no Dream Call to fight with for the moment. And there's your Nightmare once again. Wondering who can really defend this tower when they're caught napping. And Paparazzi's not even there. He's again on bottom lane pushing.
I mean, he's the one farming, and you think that the Brewmaster would maybe not be so involved because he has the Hanamitis, but he already has a Blink. So the advantage that you can take in between him not having the Blink Dagger in terms of his the opportunity cost is just non-existent. There was like very little they can do. And Bane's positioning that fight was also pretty good too. He's like way out in front, and he's just there so that Brewmaster can get his ulti off. He might die, but he's tanky enough that they don't have to worry too much about him.
Yeah. So what does Team Secret really have that can threaten Young 11 before he can get his split off? Like you can do your avalanche toss, and the silence from Puck was what was causing him problems underneath the tower. And all three of these things hit, and you still need to bring him down to 20% of his HP.
Yeah, and you have defensive sleep if necessary, which is really, really good here.
Yeah, defensive sleep. There's so many abilities burning by Team Secret that he'll have one charges available. Well, they smoke up now. He's got an Invis rune on top of his Blink Dagger.
He's also not scared because he went for damage instead of the health talent.
Well, Nightmare Steal for Rubik.
Very nice smoke pop. Even if he died, it's like, yeah, you know.
Well, he may still do. Drunken Haze thrown out by Young 11. We've seen them want to dive down towers before, and the Fiend Grip from Fenrir. They'll commit everything they've got, mainly because Paparazzi's also here this time. His last attack will be able to reach Yapsor. Roshan being started up now by the Templar Assassin. Ace and Puppy are pretty nearby.
Yeah, this positioning is pretty good for them. It is nighttime. They don't have vision over here. This could be the play that they need. They
got no jump in, though. They need to see inside the pit. The Observer Board knows they're watching. Here comes the Park and in through the side. Ace with the avalanche toss. Roshan killed by the rain. Who gets the Aegis the Immortal? Ace Day actually gets swapped out of line for Paparazzi. Snatches the Aegis the Immortal. Will be the Templar Assassin. They had to try something, but the Sunder kicks in. Ace has no more life to work with. And Puppy is caught on the wrong side of the river. Maybe there could be some revenge. They pick up a throw down on the Brewmaster. He was silenced, so he couldn't get the split off. Puppy did eventually die. And the rest of Team Secret are on the run.
YapzOr actually has traps, which is probably one of the best spells that you can steal as a Rubik. Well, oh no, don't lose traps. No, you had such a good thing going for you, YapzOr.
He's lost traps, and he's about to lose his tier 1 tower up on top.
This is just a beatdown.
It really is. Let's have a look at that Roche moment again.
This could have been so good, but there was no Aegis pickup. Perfect timing on the Avatars.
You at least get the kill. But where, like, the Aegis, it was trapped underneath Ori?
Yeah, it was.
He couldn't click it without attacking the TA?
He was right on top of it. I'm sure Ace was spam clicking the hell right on top of him.
It's like, man, why didn't I just toss the TA away? I could just throw him away from the Aegis.
Well, that's probably one of those situations where you go into like the showcase view, so you can kind of click on it on the ground easier.
Could you imagine that, like switching to showcase in the middle of such a team fight? Like that.
The things that you do for an Aegis.
Well, if he got it, that fight would have been very different, but for now, it's now VG Gaming with an Aegis the Immortal in the hands of the Templar Assassin. They've got double blinks now on both Brew and TA. And this Terrorblade's getting fatter and fatter. Had the Dragonlance to start with, but the Manta Style is only 500-ish gold away.
This dual threat is just way too much. And on top of that, I think VG have better late game. Because the Puck is the one that's supposed to be controlling the game right now, but his net worth is, I mean, it's not terrible, but it's not great. He is 2-0, but I think it more worries me that his kills plus assists only add up to 2. Granted, Secret only have 4 kills, but you know they're supposed to be pushing the pace of the game. They're supposed to be running around, getting kills with Tiny, using Dream Coil at every opportunity, but they just have not been able to get anything off the ground.
No, and they've been trying. They have definitely been trying. But it just doesn't open up for them. As now VG Gaming. They will push down the mid. Paparazzi has his Manta Style. He's already queuing up the Skadi.
Look at Fenrir. He's not lured in by the. He's not lured in by the. By the patch notes.
And they got the bloody courier.
He went a no enfeeble build on Bane.
Really?
And enfeeble is overrated. Heavily overrated in my opinion. Even with the talent, I think it's not great. It depends on what you're up against. I think Tiny like hits very, very hard, so enfeeble is less value. If you're versus like a PA or something, I think enfeeble is extremely good. But in general, I think his other 2 skills are just way more useful.
VG Gaming are trying to force this mid, thanks to the nice removal of the waves by both Puck as well as the Rubik. Like there's this Fable Rift Orb that just makes it very difficult to keep him up. Most of the Metamorphosis has been wasted, so they're going to get exactly the same thing again. Oh, Fenrir cancelled it! Thinking he was a little bit worried to be stolen. Right now it's only Refraction that was stolen, picked up and thrown in very, very deep. Creeps that damage, so tanky, and the Nightmare with the splitter. They've actually got enough space created. The All flies forward. Fenrir, CTY goes after him and claims him. A 1-for-1 trade-off. They still get the tier 2 tower. Top tier 2 tower remains barely alive for VG.
Oh, he got the silent trap damage.
Hmm?
He got the trap damage.
Nice. This is when you start to stack them.
I mean, that's a lot of damage. They're under farm too, so that thing's gonna hurt.
Can you think about like how much is it? Do you turn this into the new Techie's mind? Like, can you crunch some numbers for me? How much will it be with max traps on one position?
I don't think they stack.
That you can't stack them on top of each other?
I don't think the damage debuff stacks. That'd be sick, dude.
I know, that's what I was thinking.
I highly doubt it. I'm pretty sure they do not.
Either way, Ori back into more ancient stack farming. He is sitting at 11,000 net worth, 12,000 for Terrorblade. He actually moved off the Skadi. He's going to go for Hurricane Pike, Brewmaster split. Ace gets the Avalanche, try and create a little bit of space, but here comes Ori with his attacks. They dust over on Ace with that Shadow Blade. It won't save him a hell of a lot, but it's enough when YapzOr can toss back the spirits, and that will create the space, stopping Fenrir from keeping the chase going. And they'll turn around. They want these kills. The silence onto Fenrir. Puck, silence for, actually stunned up for the moment. Nightmare avoiding damage for Fenrir, but he can't avoid a 5-man lineup of Team Secret. From all sides and angles, they bring down the Bane.
Yeah, Tiny's still very, very difficult to kill. Status resistance on Dust, good luck.
They have to be forcing top now. This almost feels like they're fighting when like Ravage is down. In this case, it's the Brewmaster split is down. So they can push the tier 2 tower on top.
Yep, and no Aegis anymore, so Vici don't have that threat.
Puppy's on defense duty on the bot lane.
So that's pretty good. They want to fight despite being pretty far behind. However, Vici did not have the Elder Titan there. He was back healing, and TA was extremely low on. I don't even think she had mana for Refraction at that point. After she had been done clearing that Anxious, so that's really a fight that you want to take. You're just gonna go in there and die, and perhaps chain feed.
Well, as long as she can avoid that, then life will be great. BKB will help to avoid that. Picked up for the TA. You kind of push out the top lane a little bit because Team Secret are getting some breathing room. Now that VG Gaming are repairing what's on their side of the tracks, Ace is farming up bottom, which was the already heavily pushed in lane. Rapidly approaching the end of his SMY as his item of choice. And it's allowing Puck as well. He's got his BT's Blink and Veil for CTY. Trying to be everywhere if possible. And Father is rapidly approaching his item too, which is the Radiance. And well, there's the Kaya up for CTY.
Kaya's alright. I don't think it puts him in the range where he can instant kill the supports though. Generally people prefer Dagon. It's similar price point, and it's also something that you can upgrade. Puck actually has an issue later in the game where you just have too much gold because he has that 420 GPM talent, so you generally want like a little bit more expensive items because you usually already have Blink and Yules for your cheap items. But they don't have any silences this game. It looks like he doesn't actually feel like he needs the Yules, which is a little surprising to me because that is just considered absolutely core on most Pucks.
He's preparing himself for the rapid fire dream call. Is what he really wants, not the 420 talent. Also denied the tier 2 tower up on top just for style points.
So the net worth for the last couple of minutes has actually been slightly swinging Team Secret's way after winning one fight. So that's pretty good for them. However, I do not think they'll be able to contest the second Roshan coming out from Vici. It's going to come out very, very soon, and Mass BKB is coming out from Vici. So I think that, you know, the charts are going to swing the Secret's way, and it looks pretty hopeful. But you have to consider this next fight with the BKBs and the Aegis, or with just the BKBs, how it is going to go
Puppy,
for them.
You're in too deep. CTY is the neighborhood. No, Puppy can really get himself out. There's one of Fenrir. Oh, he's going to get the Fiend Grip as well. CTY wasn't really sure if he should be involved in this. They were setting up for a gank on bottom.
That's just a really dangerous place. At the same time, you don't really expect there ever were to be there. Even if it were on the high ground, though, on the normal forward spot, he still would have died, but because Vici are in a very offensive position, they can kind of farm wherever they want. You don't expect them to have wards on their side of the map. Yeah. Most of the time when you're in a position, you're like, okay, they have wards on the opposite side of the map. But, you know, Vici are playing it safe. They just want to win every single small fight that they can. They don't really need Vision to win fights. Yep.
In fact, that Vision right now is a defensive one that just, with the illusions as well, can burn through Refraction. No. It doesn't burn through. Like, Ori blinks away, but he's definitely the aggressor out of this. But the Observe Ward and Sentry, like it watches the bottom like rotation if it does come, but it also keeps an eye on their Ancients. It keeps an eye on the money bank, which is just VG Gaming's neutrals.
Yeah, and it makes the supports feel safe so that they can, you know, go out on ward or solo defend towers, because that T1 is the lowest. Is the one on the bottom. I guess they have that mid. They have that mid T1. Oh my god,
mid-tier 1 up.
That's really detrimental.
You know what actually made it hilarious is like where Team Secret was getting a lot of that money to catch up in the net worth. It was by taking the top tower, the tier 2, and then VG Gaming backing out of the fight.
But how do you contest Roche at this point? Like, yeah, you have the shrine, but shrines are
you YOLO it. Like you CTY YOLO it.
I don't think they can take the fight.
No, there's no way they can take the fight. All they can do is just try and deny the Aegis or deny the Roshan kill. That's it.
They're kind of poised to fight right now. The Radiance pickup on Omni Knight will be kind of nice, but still he is very susceptible to just simply being Cyclone for the entire duration of the fight. And it looks Spain is inside Roche.
BKB,
ooh, what a
nice
BKB.
timing there for Ori. He knew. The Avalanche never even able to connect. Quick Sentry walks down just in case there's anybody in Viz there.
Nice.
When CTY wants help on bottom, Paparazzi has TP down here to defend the lane. They're really not letting like Team Secret have any of these towers. But it's a smoke gang, 4 men together. And Paparazzi is walking right into it. Yep, so straight pick up, not the illusion. They toss down the they know which one's the real one. And they'll flip him like a pancake.
Back-to-back smoke. That was clutch. He probably didn't expect the back-to-back smoke. He saw the first one coming, or TA probably caught on the first one, but the second one they have no idea. And now, Secret are in a pretty decent spot, and looks like VG are around Roche, but I don't think you can take it with your TV down.
Oh, not when you're going to lose a hero already. CTY, he came over for the bounty rune. Ori, he's got himself a haste rune. This is so difficult for Puck to escape while the mid's being fought out. The Brewmaster split is there. Maybe they can make some more specs. CTY is still on the run, however, through that top lane, but it's in the mid where the Brewmaster Brewlings, they're starting to wear off right now. They'll have to back up with the Earth Brewling 2 seconds before it's gone. Ace has also managed to escape the fight.
He has a gem on 11. That was actually a little bit scary. He didn't bother popping his BKB before the split, but I'm actually surprised they were even like in a remotely offensive position without the Terrorblade. They were pretty far ahead, but things are slipping back slowly but surely. And Fada's build of going super greedy with the Radiance is surely paying off because Vici have not been able to take advantage of it.
Yep.
And this also makes it worth repelling himself in the fights because he can actually do some damage. And the blind miss chance is going to go a long way to help setting his teammates. If you miss that first melt hit, that's such a big loss in damage.
And I'm I'm still loving that little play that CTY had.
Which one?
With the CTY and Ori. So while that mid fight was going on, it was basically a game of cat and mouse with the Puck, as well as the hasted Templar Assassin. That was all going down on top lane. Now VG Gaming, they're going to smoke up. 5-man in it. They're not going into Roshan, however. They're going to go straight past him and wrap around the side. The circle comes out to say, let's check our own jungle. Fada's the closest. He'll break the smoke with Puppy and the jump in from Young 11. They'll get that silence off. It's that fresh Orchid over on Ori, denying Fada any presence in this fight. And now the nightmare continues for Puppy. But the counter push comes on top lane. CTY is attacking the tier 3 tower. Yamsor will be able to get himself a little bit of distance from Young 11.
I mean, he's just a Puck, though.
He is just a Puck. Ace is just a tiny as well. Paparazzi already with that Sunder stealing so much life. And Yamsor could do little to nothing to cancel this kind of push. And they're not even caring about Roshan. So the Puck added some momentum towards the top. That did bring Lanham back. So he's not part of this fight right now. But at the same time, it's Secret who are men's down, and there are about to be more. Fada, he's down for the count. Buyback does not help you in this situation when you have none. Root gone as well, pushing into the tier 3 tower. Fortification will delay this pressure, but VG Gaming so in control of this matchup that it really doesn't matter. This is the slow walk forward. Fiend Script from Fenrir controlling Puppy. He'll fall as well. It seems like a hopeless case, mainly because VG Gaming currently own what is Secrets.
And this is what we talk about a lot with the Omni Knight. Like, do you want to go Greaves and help out your team, or do you want to go Midas Radiance, which would probably be better suited on a lot of different heroes? They have any silence, and you get silence, you're dead. And he just died 2 times in a row due to the Orchid pickup because he's just so fat. And Fada surely expects that he can get Repel off because they have very few stuns.
Yeah.
But yeah, this Orchid is just...
It was the first reveal of it as well, like it only just flew in, so there's no way he could have prepared for that. And then we transition ourselves forward to the mid push.
Well, he could prepare for it with Greaves. Greaves, you already need armor on your team. Because look at their lineup. You have TA, you have Elder Titan, and you have Terrorblade. Like, all physical and a lot of minus armor. So you get you either get Ghost Scepter or you get a lot of armor and HP to deal with it. But instead, he felt like he needed to carry the game a lot more because you have a Puck in the mid lane who wasn't able to really snowball. So he feels like he needs to be the secondary or even third damage source for their team. And yeah, he has items, but really the damage output compared to any of the other cores is just going to be very minimal.
Yeah. Puck's got even more defense now with the Lincoln Sphere pickup. Same thing for Team Secret. Their Observer and Sentry Ward placed down by Yamsor was instantly scouted. So all they have to do is bring the Brewmaster over with his gem, and that Observer Ward is gone.
And they just, you know, as soon as they got the BKBs and the gem, I thought it would be very, very hard for VT to lose. They built, a little bit at the start with the Midas first maybe, but after that, just you know, full-on team fight items to the point where Secret are going to have a very tough time holding this.
They've actually got a full Bloodthorn as well. There's a 30-minute Bloodthorn on the Templar Assassin on top of everything else that she already has. Paparazzi, while the Aegis Immortal is on TA, he's got the cheese. It's not only Sunder, but also that cheese life. Lotus Orb, fresh pickup. Bafana, it's all or nothing right now as VG Gaming, they come in through the top. A quick silence on the Templar Assassin. CTY doing what he can, but Young 11, he's in the back lines with the Templar Assassin. Yapsor gets to pick up a throwdown. Guardian Angel will find protection, and Orange really low. But remember, this is the Aegis Immortal. He'll have that trigger, and the cost is too great for Team Secret to defend, and it is impossible to defend. Puppy will call it, and VG Gaming take game 1 of this winners bracket semi-final.
So Lanem 11 were certainly the MVPs for me. Lanem just drew so much attention away from the TA so that the Ogre couldn't really dominate her. And then 11